Hey guys, it's Eucharin76, Dale Landry, etc. here. I'm here asking for your help with bringing one of my dreams to life. I know that totally sounded corny. But anyways, the dream I'm trying to bring to life is called Katdosou. If you've watched my DeviantArt account at all, you'll probably know about it because I talk about it fairly often. Now, for a bit of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how this animation thing is going to work. You'll notice it's not fluent. This is merely an animated comic. It's kind of like a series of storyboards. Katdosou is a webcomic turned flash comic that I've been trying to get off the ground for about a year. This means that it's basically in between being animated and being a comic. It has pictures, not necessarily animations. It also has music, sound effects, and voices, which is where I need you guys to come through for me. I need voices for at least 22 characters, and a couple people for my extras. The characters I'm going to need are the twins, Bethel and Jezreel, Static, Arrow, Blaze, Imasu, Zeka, Kokoro, Nyx, Syler, Shogun, Sonari, Ajax, Tenengue, Valence, Zeka, Copia, Shard, Isharu, and Style. Maybe more, maybe less, depending on how these auditions go. Now I'll explain over the next 20 minutes or so, yes, it's a long time, the type of voice I need, how much you'd be included, and the age range I'll need, vocally. Katdosou pack. Females. Static. If you want to roll as an antagonistic protagonist, Static is probably your best bet. If you've ever seen the anime Black Lagoon, Revi is a very good example of how Static behaves. However, beware of anyone who either 1. Lives with parents or younger siblings who mind cursing, and who don't get much alone time so they can shout and curse how the character should. 2. If you cannot curse well, as in if I hear you say, "damn it," and I laugh. Yeah. Just to let you know, the cursing for her will very rarely go beyond saying shit once in a while. She says damn it, damn, just want to make that clear. Static's violent, loud, and has one of the shortest anger fuses in the entire history of the story. This is an Ashinu wolf turned Katdosou. She's definitely a main character. Arrow. Long story short, she's extremely troubled. Her parents died when she was outside of the den exploring as a pup, which is the only reason she's alive today. Though her parents were ripped apart by grizzlies, Arrow's often very good at hiding those feelings and even occasionally forgets about them completely, especially when spending time with her friends. She needs a female voice, probably between the ages of 13 and 16, or who at least have that preteen or teen vocal range. Someone who has a high but not annoyingly high voice would totally work. She doesn't cuss. Ever. She replaces hell with heck and ass with meanie or jerk. She's a Katdosou wolf. Regular character, but certainly not main. And she's probably gonna be killed off. I've got 2 alternate paths for whether I want her to die or not. Imasu. Now severely depressed after her best friend Zeka died, Imasu's voice actress should have a lot of emotion for her very intense times, which she tends to have since she's extremely emotionally unstable. She'll go from completely calm and cool and collected to vicious and angry in a matter of seconds for hardly any reason. Merely mentioning Zekai's name can send chills down her spine, which actually causes other wolves to believe she murdered Zeka and that she's feeling guilty about it. That is until they found out the truth. I'm looking for a post-pubescent girl, female voice who can sound down, just plain depressed, but also someone who can quickly alternate between the depressive state and a highly energetic, angry state. You need to have a lot of emotion to play Imasu. She's a regular character. Zeka. Zaya's younger sister, and a ghost. Her mate is Nyx, the wolf god of the domain of night. Zeka was killed, but I will not tell you how. Her real-life flashback voice may or may not be taken by my younger sister, simply because Zekai's living form is based off of her personality-wise. In death, which is what the majority of the acting will be, I need a girl with an almost catatonic, very calm voice. If you've ever played the video game Dragon Age, a tranquil is the kind of thing I'm looking for her. She'll state something fairly obvious and extremely calmly, no matter what happens. For example, if the world is exploding, it's just gonna be kind of like, that's not good. She's like this except when she's speaking to Zaya. When she talks to Zaya, she talks with the amount of emotion you'd expect in general, though her voice isn't whiny. A 16 to 20-year-old deep female voice? It depends. In some episodes, she'll be there constantly and have a huge role, but in others she'll hardly appear, if at all. Sonari. I have nothing against the actress who decides to voice act as Sonari, but really, she is one of those valley girls. Have a very annoying voice and annoy the hell out of Zaya and Blaze. That's what she does. She flirts with Tenengue, and of course it's reciprocated. Sonari dies fairly soon after they meet her, so you probably won't have a ton to say. Please don't sound too annoying. We're trying to make this entertaining, not, running people off. Like I said, you won't have much to say since about 2 or 3 episodes pass when the group meets her, and then, she's dead. Lastly, we've got Blaze. She's a lot like Zaya. She is more strategic and not quite as impulsive, but also not quite as physically strong. She and Zaya get into stupid arguments quite a lot, and they'll both wind up butting heads, but shortly thereafter they'll be friends again. They're not best friends or anything, but they're acquaintances. I need a girl with a relatively deep voice, a tomboyish girl preferably. I prefer a 15 to 20-year-old, deep-ish female voice. She's a Katdosou wolf and a main character. The males of the Katdosou pack. Bethel and Jezreel. These fraternal twins are always around each other, and despite their commonly occurring arguments, it's very obvious that they care deeply for each other. They need to sound similar, but not as though they were done by the same person. Bethel's personality is as follows. Bethel's the elder twin. He's very merciful and very understanding. He thoroughly enjoys helping people, despite the fact that he's very dense and is generally very bad at helping people. He's a prankster and a jokester, clumsy but kind. I'd prefer a more immature voice for him, though still not to the point of being below the age of 14 or so. Jezreel's personality is as follows. Despite the fact that Jezreel is the younger sibling, he's much more emotionally and mentally mature than his elder brother. He's calm, protective, and far on the antisocial side. He's strong and coordinated. I'd prefer a calmer voice for him, though still not giving the impression of someone older than about 17 or 18. Neutral wolves turn Katdosou. Their role in the comic is the same amount as Zeka, for the most part. That is, until the latter part of the story, in which they become a lot more main. Kokoro. I really need males to voice act Kokoro, Syler, and Tenengue. No females at all, no exceptions for those roles. For Kokoro, I need a bit of a gruff dad voice. He doesn't have a commanding voice, but he does function as a voice of reason. He's a very good fighter, but that's only shown when it's truly needed. 20 to 45-year-old male voice. Main character, Katdosou wolf. Syler. He can sound like a 14 to 18-year-old boy or man, possibly a bit older. No grandpa-sounding people, though. Syler's an incredible fighter, and he teaches Zaya a lot more control than she already had, which, really wasn't much at the point in time when they first met. He helps her get in a bit more control of Ix as well. Main character, Katdosou wolf.